It's a beautiful morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm on lunch break again. How is everyone doing? When you come in, share this. And I was supposed to pin my YouTube channel. Let me see if I can get it real quick. So, there is my YouTube channel. So, as you're coming in, go there and subscribe or share for those ones who are not on my page. Also, if you've not liked my page, like my page and like and share in your group. So when you come in, share this. So today we want to talk about downsizing. So share this video real quick. As you come in, share to all those groups you belong. We want to talk about downsizing. But before I continue, just like all the great speakers come on stage and give you their background and they give you their degrees and the schools they went to. Hey, I see you guys. So I'm going to give you a little background quickly of myself so that way you know where I'm coming from, okay? So you understand, what I'm trying to say. And for those ones who worry that I share my family stories on Facebook, don't worry about that because this is my story. I'm 47 years old. These videos, I just don't do them just for my followers or just for friends. I'm doing them for my grandchildren. I'm anticipating to have grandchildren. I want one day, we thank YouTube, we thank Facebook. I want one day for my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren to wake up and watch grandma speaking so they know I'm the original person that, gave birth to them. Because my kids, I'm taking a lot of chances. I don't know what information they want to pass because they are the first Kenyan American children, so they might not like this transition too much, you understand? But the next generation, they're going to really love us. So they're going to see grandma and they'll be like, my goodness, this is where grandma came from. Okay, so we have that clear. So don't worry, when I give personal stories, don't feel alarmed. And my siblings, you know what, don't worry about them. They're living their life just the way I'm living my life. My children, they know me already. So today I want to talk about downsizing. So I will start with my own personal story. My father had 4 wives and he had 21 children. So growing up, we were so many of us in a room, okay? So my dad each wife had their own house with their kids. But when the kids got to a certain age, we moved to Kisii town. So we lived in the village. And then when schools opened, we went back to Kisii town. That's where we went to school. So by the time I was growing up, I was number 18. I'm number 18. By the time I was growing up, most of the kids were gone. My dad started having children from 1944, and the last child is born, I believe, in 1976, if I'm not wrong, or 77. I'll check. I don't want to forget. So you can imagine all these kids were there. So when my dad was having children, my oldest brother, who was born in 1944, was having children. So I was born the same year with my father's first grandchild. So my brothers were having, or my siblings were having children, and my dad was having children. So you can imagine the chaos. So by the time I was born, there was me. I found myself with the grandkids, and we were the same age. So the reason why I want to talk about downsizing, I remember in Kisii town, we had a 3-bedroom house, 3 bedrooms. So we had the boys' room, we had the girls' room, and we had our parents' room. In the girls' room, my goodness, if I can just give you a quick number, we must have been like 6 girls because my stepsisters were 3, me and my sister came, and then we had like relatives. They were not 6. We had the house help, and then we had like other relatives. I think we were 9 girls. And we all there was 2 beds, and then everybody else slept on the floor. All the girls, small girls, we slept on the floor. But the big girls from, my aunties, all of them slept on the bed. All the little girls, we just slept on the floor. And the boys' room, there was my 2 brothers at the time, and then my cousin. I think there were almost 2-3 people there. To add on top of that, there were guests who used to come every now and then. So that's my quick background how I grew up. And then when I went back to my mother's house to the village, my mama had 5 girls. So my one sister, by the time I was growing up, my one sister was married, but 2 of her children lived with us. So I had 4 sisters, right, living at home, and my niece, Nancy, we were 5. So that 1 bedroom in the village, there was a 1 bedroom for all the girls. My father built a 2-bedroom house, the parents' room, the girls' room, and then the living room. And then the boys, all his boys had a house somewhere. It's called Saiga. All my father's boys, all the nephews, they all slept down there. They never used to mix the boys and the girls. In that, my mom's bedroom, we were 5 girls. So you can imagine, that's how we grew up. There was like 4 beds. I don't remember sleeping by myself. Okay? I've just given you a quick background on how I grew up. So fast forward, here I am. I just have to say, I don't know how my siblings turned out. I don't know how they feel about living in this small space. I don't know if they're mentally messed up. I don't even know if they're depressed. I don't even know what happened to everybody that lived in such a setting. Okay, fast forward, here I am, Penny. I wasn't affected. I was very happy. It was a good life. I just needed to sleep. You know, I was always playful. It never occurred to me that we are too many in a house. Fast forward, what did I do? I went ahead and had 4 children. Before I had 4 children, I used to host, when I say Tom, Dick, Harry. Before I had my children, anybody that came to America, I hosted them. There's one time I had 10 people in my house. I had not had children. I even had sofa beds. I even had bunk beds. This is before I had my children. So I've always lived in a crowded life. Why do I give you this story? So I'm raising 4 children now. My 2 boys share a room. My daughter and my mother share a room. My other son has a room. My house is 3 bedroom. And I added an extra house, so I should say I live in a 4-bedroom house. But it's a small house. And this house, when we bought the house, it was cheap back then. It was very inexpensive. Our home is a home that one person can live. If I die today, my husband can take care of the home. If my husband died today, I can keep that house. That is my life. And I'm raising 4 children. And my house is very squeezed. I am not sure if there is anybody who's been gossiping me that my children share a room. I'm not sure if there's anybody who has gossiped me, but I don't have enough closet. I don't know if there's anybody has gossiped me that I have a 1 garage. I am not sure if anybody gossiped my father that he had too many children. I'm not sure what people used to say then about my father and his children, because he managed to raise these children. And I don't know what everybody has been saying until COVID about me and my so many children. But I've been okay, because this was modeled to me. Why do I give my personal story today? People need to start looking ahead, and they need to start thinking of how you're going to downsize. We have people who came here. I have friends who bought big homes. I have friends who are driving Lexus. I have friends who are driving Mercedes-Benz. I have people who are living a good life because they had the income. I have people who are doing very well. Now they lost it all. Okay? They lost it all because COVID is here. And they are not downsizing. If I used to use 2 tomatoes to cook, now I'm using 1. If I used to use 2 onions to cook, now I'm using 1. And I'm telling my children, if we never used to shut the lights down, shut them down. We are all cutting everything in half. Because when COVID hit early in March, I stopped working because I was afraid of bringing COVID to my mom. I stopped. We didn't die. There was no food. But because the home we have is a home that we can live in with 1 income. And my home doesn't look like Wyndham Hotel. My home doesn't look like Hilton. My home doesn't look like one of those high curtain where I don't even know who puts those curtains. I go to some Kenyans' houses. I don't know who risks their life to go put curtains up there. My home is not one of those fancy homes. And there's nothing wrong with having those fancy homes. There's nothing in if you have 2 girls, putting your 2 girls in separate rooms. There's nothing if you have 4 children to live in a 4-bedroom house. Each child has their own child. Each their own room. There's nothing wrong with having a fancy, nice house. Your house can look like Wandam. Your house can look like Hilton. Your house can look like one of those hotels where they welcome you. There is nothing wrong with those things. Because even me, to my standards, my house is much, much better than my parents' house. My standard was my parents' house. When I look at my parents and where I am, my kids are having a ball. They are not, they have cell phones. They have only 2 children in a room when we were like 6. When I look at my parents and I look at myself, my children are doing an amazing job. I'm able to take my children on vacation. My kids we never went on vacation. When the ice cream truck comes, I buy my children ice cream. And I keep telling my children that, you know what, you are so lucky that I have money to even take you out to eat. My parents never took us out to eat. So my standards are set by my parents. When I look at where I come from, where we all used to, my dad had 1 car. My father had a Land Rover that he went and had a fundi to make all those chairs. Yeah, he made chairs, bench chairs in the Land Rover, removed all the chairs that people sit like this and made it like a matatu. All of us, we used to fit in that 1 car. I don't even know how. Some sit on each other, some I don't know. Once a year, we all fitted in that car to go to my grandmother's memorial. We always went to my grandmother's memorial once a year. Okay? Somehow, all those children my age, leave the ones who are married, all my nieces who are living with us, we managed to squeeze in that 1 Land Rover and we went to my grandmother's memorial. Those are the stories that I can tell my children. So my children right now, what I've given them, I buy them a pair of sneakers once a year. I'm not giving them 2. I'm not giving them excess because you know why? Given the standards, given where I brought them from, I've already given them the best I can. You understand? I'm not trying to have my children live like they're living in a hotel. I want my children to work hard so the next generation now, okay, my daughter, my son, they can now live that life because they'll be making 6 figures. Mommy is not making 6 figures. We have to downsize. If you live in a very expensive house, put the house on sale. Nobody is going to gossip you. If you are driving a very expensive car, take it away. Try to see how you're going to take these things away from you. Nobody is going to gossip you. You see, like me, if they've gossiped me, nothing has happened. Because they do not know my story. I did not come from poverty, but I came from a family of 21 children, over 200 grandkids. My dad was having kids, and my siblings were having kids. We did not, I don't think we are really screwed up because we downsized. And then when boarding school came, my father said, hallelujah. Even now to me, homeschooling, COVID has brought homeschooling. Me, I'm thinking we should say hallelujah because homeschooling meaning, that means we are not going to go buy uniforms. I mean, like those clothes we are going to buy school year. We are not going to prepare the kids in the morning. Me, I'm just even thinking we can even continue homeschooling. It's going to cut because we pay for Wi-Fi and they're giving us laptops from the school. I'm so happy that we are homeschooling. I don't even want to hear anything. It is the same way my father rejoiced that boarding school came. When boarding school came, do you know what my father did? He gathered all the children, class 6. Everybody was taken to boarding school. And you know that man was left with no children in the house. I remember the last set of my father's children were all shipped out to boarding school. So I'm looking at COVID. I'm thinking, my goodness, this is good. This is a good thing in a way that I'm not going to shop. It's a good time for me, for my kids to just even study in pajamas, study in the rags, study in a chuti, like I have the 9-year-old. The 9-year-old is growing slowly, so he can wear anything and study. There is no church, okay? There is nothing going on. So at least for since COVID started, I think it was February. We didn't go to spring break. It looks like this summer we are not going on vacation. So as much as COVID is here, COVID is putting money in your pocket. So you have to downsize. If you're in a house you cannot afford, you lost your job, sell it. And then you need to start innovating your income. How are you going to create more income? If you've never sold mandazi, sell mandazi. If you've never made a hat, maybe you're gifted to crochet. I'm not telling you people this because I'm telling you. I am practicing this. I don't have too much stress. I'm not going to take medication because I have to make a car payment of a Mercedes. No. I'm just going to go get rid of that car. Yeah? Me, I don't know. Still, I'm telling you, I go to people's homes and they're living like they're in a hotel. Those high curtains that are put by professionals. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to downsize. If you've been eating out, stop. Stop making food at home. You understand? Don't start showing people. Nobody really cares. If you're broke, people gossip you. If you're rich, people gossip you. People must talk about people. So if you're afraid to downsize, or what are they going to say? Believe me, when you're going to take your blood pressure meds, nobody can swallow your pill for you. When you're going to lose that house to the bank, then you're going to be homeless. Nobody is going to find a place for your children. When the car dealer is coming to take that car, you're the only one who has to explain to your children, if you have children, why they took the car. Nobody really cares. If you think people care, nobody really cares about your life. Even your children, if you don't guide your children to the right place, they will just get lost. You must tell your children your story. You must tell your children where you've come from and where you are up to today. Don't just let your kids have A, B, C. You're buying your kids this, you're buying your kids this. And those of you who are in healthcare, those ones who are in nursing, and you have overtime, don't work too much. You're going to die of stress. You're going to die and leave your children. Work in moderation. Yes, the hours are there. But slow down and help your children. The children are going to be homeschooled. Slow down. The maid is not going to homeschool your children for you. You cannot be a student and you are telling somebody who didn't go to school to help your children with homework. Like, what is that? You have to help your children grow their brain. Now, a house help or wale watoto wa mama, these people you are paying wa mama to babysit your children, they are not going to help your children be creative. Make time with your children. Leave the overtime alone. Say no to overtime. Go home. Downsize. Go start using the clothes you used to use. And then the other thing, don't gain weight. It's better to lose weight than to gain weight. If you gain weight, you have to go buy new clothes. You are not going to leave your house. The more weight you gain, the more clothes you have to buy. But if you reduce the weight, you can go to Walmart and get a needle and thread, and you reduce. You hold here and you hold here. Don't think that you're being stingy. What matters is your bank balance. How much money do you have saved? Especially if you have children. How much money are you putting away that now if your job closes? I saw another restaurant, Charlie Brown. We used to go there and eat. Charlie Brown had like one of the nicest salmon. Grass has grown on Charlie Brown. Grass. They shut the restaurant down. So this is a chain reaction. Don't think that your job is not going to be affected. Be ready for your job to be affected. Whether you're an IT, even nursing. Do you know now people are not even going to the hospital? Soon they are going to cancel nurses and they tell you we just need a few nurses. You understand? If you're gaining weight, stop. Get a mask and cover your mouth. Even when you are home, you're not only covering COVID. Cover the food. Put a mask in the house when you feel like eating. Just put on a mask, please. Because now you're going to gain weight. It's expensive. You're not going to be able to lose this weight. You have to get new clothes. Where are you getting the money? You're unemployed. Ask yourself. Ask yourself that, you know what, when this COVID is done, is my husband going to have a job? Is my wife going to have a job? Don't think that COVID is only affecting certain people. COVID is affecting everybody. And this money that you are getting, those ones who got on unemployment, one lady told me she went on a shopping spree. You are going on a shopping spree, very soon they are going to, that unemployment, the government is going to say, you know what, we've run out of money. They are going to call a press conference and Trump is going to say, oh, that money that we saved for rainy day is over. Because unemployment was giving Americans an extra $600 or $7 or something. That money is going to go away. What are you going to do? Don't be afraid to downsize. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel bad. It is okay. People will gossip you whichever way, whether you downsize, whether you don't. People are going to gossip you. Live within your means. Don't try to show people that you are doing this, you are doing that. Remember where your parents brought you from. Exactly, the nursing homes have been sold. There is not going to be senior citizens for the nurses to care. If you're an LPN, you need to know that your job is about to be extinct. LPNs are not going to have jobs. The registered nurses are going to take over the position of LPNs. The CNAs, your job is going to be replaced by something else because all the old people are dying. You might not have a job. Downsize. Even be natural. Because now, even the last week, just for therapy, I went makeup shopping for therapy. You know, you have to also keep yourself going on. I don't even know why I bought it because I don't know where I'm going to wear it to. But no, I'll wait for my husband on Fridays. So, I bought this lipstick and now I'm covering my mouth. Ask me, where am I going with the lipstick when I'm like this all day? Lipstick, you know, was to look good to go to work. But I've answered my question and my answer, I gave myself an answer. The lipstick, I'm going to wait for my husband because now my husband cannot go out to go see beautiful women, to go see nicely dressed. You know, it's good for them to see fresh dressed girls, you know. It's nice for men to see nice ladies, well made. So I have to make for myself, you know, because it is part of man therapy. Men like to see women who are looking beautiful. I even got like, and now I'm wearing spandex. I'm wearing spandex because my husband is working from home. You know, now I have to upgrade, because now, even now, you know, to look a certain way, to make him, you know that, you know, life is still going on. Mambo ile ya kuvaa, those long things, I reduced. So once in a while, you can buy your things for therapy. And ladies, don't neglect yourself. Make yourself really good because your husband now is tired of seeing you. Your husband used to get good views at work, or used to get good views at the club, used to get good views when he's leaving the house. Especially if your husband is working from home, my sister, when you get home, you need to straighten these eyebrows. Even me, when I get close to the house, I'll put saliva. Because you know what? I have to look a certain way now. Because now the man is just in the house. But you have to downsize. You have to go one size down. You must go one size down. You're so right. I even need to buy wigs and eyebrows to entertain my husband on the weekends. I'm telling you, things are bad. Men are crying. And you women who keep wearing stockings, don't scare your men. They are tired. Men like women to look good. You women enhance yourself on the weekends. Yeah, you have to straighten because now I don't want my husband to get tired of looking at an old lady like this. You have to make these eyebrows look nice. I bought eye pencil. I bought all these things to upgrade myself. But downsize, reduce, cut your spending. And if you used to send people money, let me give you one quick advice. If you're sending people money, when you're going to lose money, people you send money can never send you money. Always remember, people that you're always giving money, they will never, and there are many, they will never give you money. If you have nobody who gives you money, just remember, my sister, when you lose your job, my brother, when you lose your job, you're going to go down. If you are in a neighborhood, if you are living in Mount Laurel, if you are living in Princeton, move to Burlington. Go break your lease, lose money, and move. Let nobody lie to you that, oh, you know what, it's shameful, oh, the school system. No, now they are learning online. Just move. They might never even know you moved. Just move. Move to a cheaper place where you can afford with one income. You are not a tree. Change your life. You are not even trees. What do we do with trees? We cut the trees. When the trees, we feel that they are misbehaving, we cut the trees. You can cut a tree, you bring a tractor, you uproot the root, and you put a new tree. If a tree is in a place you don't want it, like I had trees next to my house. Those trees gave me a headache when there was a tornado. They gave me a headache. I cut all of them. Okay? You are not a tree. You are a human being. You can adjust, downsize. Find a way to reduce your spending. Find a way to make money, like little money, even if it means cleaning homes. People think that housekeeping is not a job. Housekeeping is a job. You will go and clean offices, those ones who still have offices. You cut a tree, you go and find new seedlings and move the tree. You can move a tree because there is no tree that doesn't have seeds. You will bring people, let them remove it, and you move the tree to where you want it. If we can move a tree, a plant, why can't you move from New Brunswick to Burlington? Why can't you move from Delaware to New Jersey? Why can't you move from New York to New Jersey? Why can't you move from Karen to Langata? Why can't you move from Langata to Buruburu? Why can't you move? Why can't you move from one town to another town? Because your friends, you think your friends are going to gossip you. With or without you moving, they gossip you. So why are you going to risk your family not to move? It is okay. Don't be embarrassed. And for you to be strong, the only way you can be strong so you can make the moves, remember your background. Don't compare yourself with people who have a different background. Your story is different than everybody else. If you remember your story, okay, if you know your story, anybody on the side will not affect you. I'm coming from 21 children to 4 children. My children are living in heaven. Do they know that? I have to tell them. I came from sharing a room with 5 girls in one bedroom to my daughter being in her room with grandma. And you know she's with grandma because grandma is with me. If grandma wasn't there, she could have been in that room alone. She has never shared a bed. They have never been peed on. On that note, let me sip water. I tell you how we used to be peed on. Did you have a sister or a brother or a niece or a nephew that used to pee? You are paired with a person who pees. My friend, me, after I was born again of not peeing, I didn't want to be put with that peeing person. But do you think my mother cared that who was peeing and who's not peeing? No. I don't even know how I think they used to the oldest like that until the youngest. So if you stopped being peed on, you upgrade. And then now you stay with the youngest. Like now me, I had to be sleeping with my younger sister and then her with my niece like that. So you had to be peed on. So those 2 older girls, they sleep together because they don't pee. But then these other last ones, you're just being peed on. So imagine after you finally stop peeing, you're being put with somebody who pees. The other thing is, they used to take, before you sleep, mom used to take everybody's underwear need to come out. Everybody used to remove their underwear. There is one thing I hated the most is to sleep without an underwear. And you know now, after I stopped peeing, because they didn't want you to pee on that underwear, because that underwear, you are going to use it to go to school. This is my grandchildren, when you watch this video. Grandma used to take all the underwears from the girls, you put them on the side, because she doesn't want you to pee on the underwear, because you're using the underwear to go to school. You can't pee on your underwear every day. So now, when I stopped peeing, my underwear was still being taken away. My God, what a grudge. I used to get so mad. I'm like, I stopped peeing. But then my mom would tell me, yes, you stopped peeing. If I leave you with the underwear, your sister is going to pee on you, then you won't have an underwear. So do you see where I'm coming from? So I tell my kids this story. Yeah. You see, Rose said she moved from Nanyuki when I lost my job. And I continued very well. Yeah. And she's paying very little rent. People are not trees, and even trees you can cut. So now, this is how my life was. I'm telling my children now, you know what? You don't have to be peed on. Mom was peed on. By the time now my sister stopped peeing, okay? So me and her can comfortably sleep. I was already so angry. I used to say, you know what? My kids can never share a bed. All that suffering or all those hardships of 21 children is what made me penny today. I'm sitting in my car, talking in my car. I work hard. In fact, I work hard. I don't like poverty. I don't like to be poor. I don't like not to have money. You understand? I just don't like the feeling that my bank account has no money. Penny, I just don't want to be broke. That is I wake up, when I just wake up like this, I'm like, hey, even if I don't feel like waking up, I'm like, I can't be broke. I refuse to be broke. Anything I'm going to do to make money, I will do. I refuse to be broke. So I cannot make it so easy for my children, give them these Ryan homes, give them, give these children everything. I even cook, some of you even cook for your own kids, you feed them. I don't want to give these children everything. What are they going to work for? What goals are they going to have? When I take my kids on vacation, the only time they fly to go on vacation is to go to Kenya. Everywhere in the America, I'm not flying my children in America to go on vacation. They stay on the road for 12 hours. Okay? I don't want them to start thinking that life is easy. So they went from mama not going on vacation to me putting him in the car for 12 hours to drive to Florida, to drive to North Carolina, to drive to Virginia. I have been driving my children in this minivan all around America. They are not flying. So now what I tell them when they start complaining after they've put their pillows, I tell them, get yourself comfortable. In another few years, you will be your own boss. You will have 2 children. You will fly them. And guess what? When you get there, you will Uber. Back then, there was no Uber. There was no taxi. You will tell them, you know what? Here, you fly and then you get somebody to pick you. They might never need to drive. And that's what I've made it difficult for them. That was a struggle. You want to know my story? Being paired with somebody who pees every day because you are too many in a room. That was downsizing. I don't even know. I wish my father used to tell us the story. I don't even know how they used to plan these things. But I'm telling you, the struggle of 21 children was real. The struggle of me raising 4 children is real. And still helping relatives is real. Downsize. It's not going to hurt you. Live within your means. Live, if you're married, people who are married, squeeze yourself and live with one income. If your husband's job doesn't end, if your wife's job doesn't end, they can die. Somebody can die. Your spouse can die. Don't think that these people who die did not have a wife and a husband. These people who die had families. You can die. Squeeze yourself. That's the challenge today. My break is over. The challenge today is squeeze yourself if you're husband and wife. So that way you can live on one income. If you're a single mom, cut your spending in half. If you're a single parent, you're living by yourself. Downsize in a way that if something happens to you, at least you have some money waiting to support you. That is the way forward. You can't continue showing off. You can't continue living in those chandelier homes. You can't continue mowing lawns. If you used to pay somebody to cut your grass, cut the grass. The bottom line is the bank balance. How much money is sitting in your account? Just in case a car hits you tomorrow, you have shelter. You'll go to the hospital and have surgery and they discharge you. In America, by the time you get disability money, you'd have lost your home. And those people who work for the bank, they will not feel sorry for you. If you pay mortgage for $4,000, you miss 2 months is $8,000. You miss 3 months, yeah, is $12,000. Any of you who's living in a home that you're paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, you need to start moving. Put your house on sale right now. There are people who saved money and they want to buy homes now. Downsize. Move even to an apartment. If you have 2 children, move to an apartment. It is okay. Downsize. Nobody is going to talk about you. Nobody is going to care what you're doing. Just mind your business. We don't want people to start taking medication for depression. We don't want to bury you because of stress. We don't want to bury you because you did not get your house in order. We don't want you to die because now you're ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Shame, if you think shame is going to drive your life, shame will put you 6 feet under. Gossip will put you 6 feet under. Don't be afraid. They will talk. Then they'll get tired and do something else. May God bless you, and please work as hard as you can to downsize. That's the message today. Okay? God bless you.